This time back in Springfield, is Al Bruno, is he the boss of that crew by this time?
Bruno is at this time is the boss of the outside of New York. Like I said, I had all the power, but now I get made. Bruno's still alive, but I have more power than him. Bruno's the boss of the Western Mass, Connecticut, Central Mass, deeper into Western Mass, that faction. But I have more power than him now because I'm made directly with the bosses in New York. He doesn't know it, but we all know that. So, yeah. So at this time, he's the boss, and he doesn't know that I'm a made guy, and that the power that I have, which is fine. We're not enemies. Me and him aren't enemies, and he's doing his thing. We're still partners, actually, in sports and the loan shark and numbers and things like that. So, everything was just going forward. Nothing too crazy. I mean, Bruno at this time was following out with Artie in New York. That was happening, but nothing internally with me and him.
November 23rd, 2003, Big Al Bruno is shot as he leaves a card game at a social club. When did it go from demoting Al Bruno to deciding to take him out?
Yeah, somewhere in like the late September, October, he ends up. There was the faction I told you got arrested in 2000. One of the guys was a made guy, Emilio Fusco. He's the one that participated in the murders with me and other murders, and me and him hated each other, and then we kind of became friends, but you could never trust him. And so he goes to get sentenced, and at his sentencing, there was in the discovery, there was a 302 that comes out that has Al Bruno. They said that this Emilio Fusco was a made guy, and the reason they were going to enhance his sentence from 2.5 to 3.5 years was because he was a made guy. He denied it, and they showed him a paperwork with Al Bruno talking to a FBI agent that he was a made guy, that telling the FBI agent that Emilio Fusco was a made guy. And plus it was a 302, a bad 302, talking about other organized crime criminals, talking about other made guys and things like that. And so when they got this paper, Emilio was upset, obviously. He had to do more time, so he's the one that's going to be upset about it mostly. And they brought the paper down to New York, and that's who gave the order to kill Bruno. Oh, because of that paper. That's why it went from being demoted to a killing. Was right. Because that paper doesn't come out, then he never gets killed. He just gets demoted. And so and the lawyers that represented Emilio Fusco and all, they knew that paper was there. They knew that was a bad paper, so they can, say everything that they want, but they know Bruno was in trouble. They knew a lot more than that too.
Right. Now, you mentioned that originally you were not involved in this at all, had nothing to do with you, but eventually the guys in New York pull you into this. How did you become involved in the hit on Bruno?
So Felix Stringhese was a guy that was a made guy. Felix was also around, a made guy in Springfield. They asked Felix to bring them down that paper. So Felix is the one that called up John Bologna. And, Felix was an older guy. He's older than me. He was like made in the 80s. And so he's been around for a long time. And so they asked him to bring down the paper, the 302, with Bruno talking to the FBI agent. When Felix brings the paper down, he comes back. Now they ask Felix to come down to New York again for a meeting. At this meeting, this is coming from Felix's mouth directly to me. Now, Felix is a liar, so I don't know what happened in court transcripts. I don't know. I'm telling you what Felix told me, and I'm telling you what transpired in New York.
Well, we can tell you that we have confirmed that Al Bruno is dead from 4 gunshot wounds he suffered here at about 9:15.
Larry Dentico, Mario Gigante, Artie Nigro, they had a meeting. They started whispering. Artie tells Felix to kill Bruno, that it was sanctioned by the bosses. So Felix got the order to kill Bruno, not me.
Yeah.
I never got told to kill Bruno. So Felix got ordered everything to kill him. The problem is he just couldn't do it. He didn't have a crew. He had bums around him, guys that, would talk a good game, big guys, like big mouths and big guys, but weren't capable of killing. So that's how I got dragged in. They asked me to help on the hit. Once they asked me to help, you might as well say, Felix, go sit in the corner. All these phonies that are around here that want to, keep putting the blame on me because, their father got killed or their cousin got killed, but blame the guys that you never hear them mentioning, Artie, who actually gave the order, So it's like, but they can say whatever they want. That's fine. I don't care. I'm telling you, what actually happened. They're all fantasy tellers, storytellers, and, want to come up and exaggerate stories and make up stories about people. I'll tell you the facts because I lived it.